Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. I think yesterday morning I started off by saying that Max was planning on bringing over the card to show it to you, and then he forgot it. Well, yesterday afternoon, when he came by with Missy, around 6:30, I guess, in the evening, more or less, he brought the card and he left it here so that he wouldn't forget. So when he comes by, which will probably be in about an hour or so. Oh my, minus 25.6. Yeah, I got a comment from Colorado Jeff this morning, and he was mentioning that the Colorado low, they're experiencing it right now. It's very cold there, so I guess that cold air is going to sort of waft its way around over here, or is. I don't mind the cold as long as we don't get the snow. But hey, usually Colorado lows here in Winnipeg mean snow. Well, we'll see what happens. It's winter. Let's stop talking about it. Okay. Speaking of Missy the dog, we are ready. There we go. Step 61. We were going to get some pieces, weren't we? And then we got, I forget what happened. Anyway, let's get them. There was about 6 or 8 pieces that we had to get. And we were going to decide what are we going to do about the clear plastic stern section. It just might not look too good if it's all clear, but we'll see. I think it'll be all right. As long as I do a good job of or a careful job of gluing the parts once they're painted onto the clear plastic, so that the paint, doesn't run into the clear area. If you know what I'm trying to say here. I don't have any big news. We may as well just get right into it. Yeah, and then we can get some of this stuff painted here. Otherwise, we're going to have too much stuff that's going to have to be painted. Somebody was mentioning that they thought that pipe might be somehow connected into. Well, we'll look it up and find out where exactly does this pipe go and what is it for. It probably shows further on here, like in step 62 or 63, because eventually we're going to be getting the hull out here and laying these individual modules that we made into it and fastening them in place. That's going to be fun. Yeah. Then I gotta get the wires run, and we got lots to do yet. I was going to say something about the Enterprise and I forgot what it was. Well, I'll think of it and we'll talk about it later. But the Enterprise is it's going to be a few weeks off before we get into that. Lots of work to do on the submarine yet. So let's get our parts here. We need looks like we need the B sprue. Oh, and the C sprue. Okay, B and C. All right, let's get these parts and get them cleaned up, and maybe we'll do a little painting today. Don't know if I should use the airbrush or try and paint it with a paintbrush. Once again, the airbrush does a better job. Okay, let's get my sprues are over there on the by the far wall. So shut up, Ron. Just get at it. Now I remember what I was going to say about the Enterprise. We've got a comment from Nigel Frampton, and Nigel's modeling bench that probably most of us are familiar with. And he said that he had some boats that would, or he indicated there were some boats that would go good on this build, and like lifeboats, that kind of thing. And he was indicating that he would send them to us. So I replied with my address and everything. I know some people, they don't like to give out their name and their address and all that kind of stuff. And I always think, well, hey, you're in the phone book. You know, everybody knows anyway, you know. It's not like I'm giving them my bank account and the PIN number and all that kind of stuff. Uh, yeah, like who cares if they know where I live? Some people might like to be secretive. They know that if you give your address, then they can do the Google Street View thing and go down your street and see where you live. Hey, you're in my house every day. You know what it's like. I don't care anymore. I'm a little bit embarrassed sometimes, but at the mess that has gotten into. Anyway, thank you, Nigel. Thank you very much. We'll look forward to that. Okay, now let's go get our parts. Okay, we need B, 19 and 20, 37 and 38. And if you notice here, they look very, very similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't write somewhere maybe on the inside. I could like this one here when we take it off. Very carefully. Let's not get too exuberant here. Okay, now this may or may not work. But on the inside here, is it going to be possible, because this surface right here gets glued up against the hull. So can I write a 19 on that? I probably could if I wasn't trying to do it on camera. Now, this here, okay, let's put it right here. This may or may not, oh, let's get this out of the way here. Okay, 19. Yeah, that kind of worked, didn't it? All right, you get the idea. I'm just going to go ahead and do that for the other three pieces as well. Okay, what do we got here? Number 20. Well, anyway, you get the idea. You don't want to watch me nipping these. I'm so stubborn. All right. Okay, that's number 20. Just sort of a challenge to see if I can do it on camera. Now this surface might be exposed, but I don't think so. It'll probably end up getting painted, but the inside for sure won't. Okay, 20. I have got all the pieces we need for 61, including the number 23. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to need it in the near future. Okay. This piece we got. Okay, we need the aft diving planes. Is that all we need for step 62? You know, as long as we're going to be painting the rudders, we may as well paint these too, because they're going to be the same color. Yeah, this we've got, this we've got, and this we've got. So I guess we just, in 62, all we need is the B23 and B24. And we don't need to look for the numbers to get them because they're just real obvious. Now, there may be a slight difference to them. So I wonder if I can write 23 and 24 somehow on the inside here so I don't get them mixed up. And I don't think they're keyed. So let's recompose here. Okay, I was going to try and write the numbers on the ends here because I didn't think they were keyed, but you know what? These things are keyed. Now, I'll show you something that I don't want to accidentally do here. I will take this back here because I got to re-nip somewhere else anyway. Okay. Now, you notice where it plugs into the side of the hull, it is keyed. Now, it would be possible to put them on the wrong way, but I mean, you'd have to be a complete idiot to do that. Now, when I'm doing nipping my flashing off, I want to be very careful not to take off this little connection here. I know what that's for, and you'll be seeing us using that, hopefully. Okay, so we got those. But you know what? I think that's all there is on step 62. Is that possible? There's only 2 things to get off? I have paged ahead to step 63, and once again, there's well, I got the C23 moments ago when I got the 22, so we don't need to get that. But we've got only 3 pieces. Now, one of them is the I guess it would be the stern light. Now, this would probably be a white light. Well, let's just get that for the fun of it. See, does it look like it's going to be possibly something that we could put an LED in? Just a white LED. Got lots of those. Okay, what does that look like now? Would it be possible if I was to, after removing this flashing off the bottom here, I will be doing a better job later. You know, I'm so far away, I should really recompose and move in here. And I'll show you what I've got in mind, but it may not work. It may not work. Come on in where it's warm.
Thank you.
Hello, Missy. Yeah, minus 25 without a wind chill. I don't know what it is with the wind chill.
Minus 40.
Minus 40 again. Okay. I had to help you this time, didn't I?
Oh. We got as far as Arliss.
And
She was 3-footing it.
Yeah, I think when she starts doing that, you want to turn around and come back. Yeah. That means her feet are frozen. Does she always 3-foot, does she always carry the same foot all the time?
No.
It's a different foot each time.
Yesterday was a hind foot. Today it was a 4-foot.
Really? Yeah. Well, you can warm your feet up on my legs. Yes.
She headed home while she was moving pretty fast. I was walking as fast as I could to keep up with her.
You need a sleigh and let her pull you.
I think so. Or a wind sail. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Yeah. Got a good start on the model, I was going to say model ship on the submarine. I had got a comment from a fellow in the UK, and he's going to send some parts that he's got that will go well with this build, the Enterprise build. So so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Okay, you were going to show the card. It's over there.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, if you were to.
Yeah, Jim sent this this card. This is a beagle. He's got his tail between his legs, with those sad eyes. It looks like he's being sent to his room. You know, he's going up the steps, and I think the card says something one step at a time.
Yeah.
Go with that. Thanks very much, Jim. That's a lovely card. And Rainey and I and Missy enjoyed it very much. It was very kind of you.
Yeah, it was kind, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. There's a lot of nice people in the world.
A great picture of the beagle.
Yeah.
Snoopy.
Well, Missy, thank you for coming, Missy. We'll see you again. You can go and 3-foot it all the way home.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later. Bye, Missy. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. All right. Now, I was just in the process of setting up here to talk about the fact that step 63 only has the 3 pieces. Well, 4 if you get the one, count the one I did already. And I was going to show these delicate little pieces here being nipped off. I don't think I need to try and keep them separate because they look like they are just mirror image to each other. So this is the 14, and I think this is the 11. And yeah, we'll recompose and get those in a moment. Yeah. And by the way, Jim, that was a nice gesture on your part to send that card. It came at a very opportune time, even though it was late. Because I think Max needed cheering up at that moment, and apparently it did. So okay, let's recompose here and get this stuff. Okay, quite a bit of time has passed here, and I have not forgotten about the light. We will take a look at that and then talk about what I think we might be able to do here. This is really delicate, very, very easily broken here. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that these are identical, but I could be wrong. I'll put them up against each other later and just check it out. Okay. All right. Yeah, now about our light. So let me get the excess flashing off of this and trim it up. Now on the bottom, we got a little square peg. I don't want to accidentally nip that off. Okay, I realize we're getting some wild reflections here off of this clear plastic. But if I move into the area in question, which is right there, pretty hard to see, isn't it? Now here's our little light. You notice on the top of it I got a little bit of a divot. If I had known that was going to happen when I nipped off the sprue connection, I would have sanded the sprue connection off. And we would have ended up with solid plastic, I believe. Okay, now this actually goes right in here. there is a slot there. It's kind of hard to see. This is the first time I'm actually trying it, but it fits perfectly. Okay, now what I was wondering is, if I was to take an LED and bring it up from the bottom, can I inconspicuously run the wire somewhere along where I can later connect it to the main line, you might say, and just have it instead of having maybe 220 ohm resistor, maybe have more resistance, and the light would not be quite as bright. And I think that I could probably drill this out and put this up inside there and kind of replace this what is supposed to be the glass, I guess, that we will in all unlikelihood be painting white, because this idea of mine is probably not going to work. But it was just a thought. I think I'm gonna think about it. But you know, right now I think there's something more important I got to think about. Well, I was enjoying that very delicious pizza, and it was good, actually. I was looking at this, and I was noticing we've got these parallel lines running up the length of the deck here, supposed to simulate, I guess, planking. And if I don't paint this deck, it's going to be clear, and you will be able to see the wire underneath the plastic. Not real clear, but anyway, my thought was, if I was to run the line in an exact same parallel as these embossed lines here, these pieces of planking, it probably would not be noticed, or you'd have to look for it. It wouldn't catch your eye, in other words. So I think what I'm going to do is, just for the fun of it, I'm going to go ahead here and see if possibly I can't do this. Let's put the macro lens on and get the two pieces side by side and just see how much smaller the LED bulb part is than this, and how it would fit. Now, is this going to be another one of my crazy ideas that I end up spending a week on and end up with a disaster? All right. Now we want to see, how does the size of this compare? Like, is it going to be able to fit up in there? So obviously the electrodes would be coming up from the bottom. And if I drilled the hole so that the hole came up and stopped about 1 millimeter before it's punctured out the top, we will have a problem with light shining through the plastic from the top, because that's the way these bulbs radiate. From what I remember, the light shines not so much off the sides as it does out the top of the bulb. So I'd have to paint the top of this so it didn't show. Now, like I say, we are going to dumb down the voltage, so that the bulb would hardly be glowing, you might say. Otherwise it's not going to look realistic. But you can see that we should be able to make it fit. Yeah. Okay, so if I was to drill the hole through from the bottom and go right in the center like this, and then after the hole is through, in all likelihood this plastic lens would be still there, so we'd have to somehow cut that out. Now there is another thought that maybe instead of going all the way up to the top, although I pretty much have to, yeah, don't go all the way up to the top, just leave the bottom. Thinking out loud here again. Yeah, I think it can be done, but is it going to be worth it? Otherwise, it's a lot simpler to just paint this thing white, and then glue the part in place. But it's not as much fun, is it? Okay, so here's the plan for the rest of this afternoon. I'm going to think about this. For instance, I'm thinking, how can I drill the hole up through the bottom and have it perfectly in line? And then I was thinking, well, I guess I could rig up a little clamp of some kind. And in fact, I've got one that would work really well down in my workshop. It's I guess you would call it a drill press clamp. That would work good. And I would use my little drill press that's behind me here, just to make sure I get the hole nice and straight. But I'm going to think about it. You might say, while I am cleaning up these parts. And yeah, I'm going to do that off camera. Just have a nice quiet afternoon. It won't take very long. Especially the job I do, I don't spend hours and hours and hours, you know, like filling in push-out marks and stuff like that. I'm not finding fault with people that do. In fact, I'm giving you credit. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and work on that this afternoon now. And yeah, I guess all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.